Mounting hostilities across the Taiwan Strait region reached a decisive climax on April 3, 2025, marking a transformative chapter in modern naval warfare. As dawn broke over these crucial waters, Chinese military forces initiated their opening strike campaign, concluding months of heightened alert status and throwing the theater into extraordinary combat chaos. At the heart of this significant engagement stood the USS Gerald R. Ford, representing America's foremost naval platform, armed with advanced surveillance systems, electromagnetic catapult technology, and air squadrons designed for Pacific theater dominance. The warship's deployment illustrated strategic commitment while Beijing's armaments crossed disputed ocean territories. This flotilla's appearance underscored America's unwavering resolve to preserve maritime liberty and counter aggressive maneuvers. The Ford's enormous dimensions and thunderous flight operations transmitted a clear message: any attempt to modify territorial limits through force would meet America's full military might. Throughout this crucial battle, the carrier represented more than mere naval equipment. It embodied strategic prevention, alliance solidarity, and direct notice that global regulations demand perpetual safeguarding. No state could risk tactical error. The trigger for Beijing's hostile measures originated from the murky pre-dawn seas off Fujian's shoreline. At 6:45, coastal observation identified an unusual grouping of American warships nearing the recognized boundary line, their silhouettes distant yet clearly recognizable. Immediately, reconnaissance teams wondered whether the threat stemmed from hidden detectors within advanced destroyers or swarms of autonomous surveillance drones probing Chinese boundary safeguards. Tension mounted throughout the leadership hierarchy, while defense experts studied real-time digital feeds and optical confirmation. 7 minutes later, at 6:42, Chinese commanders approved an aggressive combat order: unleash barrages of HQ-9B air defense missiles, deploy J-16 and J-11 fighter wings, and activate naval point defense weapon systems for maximum protection. This thorough reaction represented a deliberate gamble, merging long-range precision munitions with adaptable aerial platforms and automated final defense units. The synchronized activation of radar-controlled missile strikes, supersonic fighter operations, and rapid-fire gun clusters demonstrated Chinese resolve to maintain territorial dominance through armed strength. By selecting immediate engagement rather than waiting for further provocations, China deliberately escalated the standoff, signaling to regional nations that any challenge to maritime sovereignty would meet determined military resistance. Beijing's integrated air defense infrastructure forms a formidable shield against potential aggressors, built through multiple overlapping protective layers designed to detect, track, and destroy threats from shoreline positions extending deep into continental China. The backbone features HQ-9B ground-to-air missile systems capable of striking targets at ranges approaching roughly 105 miles using advanced radar coordination networks that lock onto enemy aircraft or cruise missiles with precision. Supplementing these land-based platforms are formations of J-16 and J-11 fighter jets armed with long-range PL-15 air-to-air missiles, extending combat engagement beyond 120 miles, enabling China's Air Force to intercept hostile aircraft before they can release standoff weapons. At shorter distances, Type 700 close-in weapon systems deliver concentrated defensive gunfire at rates reaching 4,200 rounds per minute to eliminate incoming anti-ship missiles or fast attack craft during terminal defense phases. These elements collectively create a layered area denial network utilizing coastal radars, airborne early warning platforms, land-based missile batteries, and quick-response fighter patrols within integrated command frameworks. By linking detection and engagement systems across maritime, aerial, and terrestrial domains, China has constructed a high-density defensive barrier designed to complicate hostile strike planning, reduce long-range precision weapon effectiveness, and deter any penetration into zones considered sovereign naval territory. After detecting the approaching threat, the USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group immediately assumed maximum alert status. The carrier's sophisticated SPY-6 active electronically scanned array radar began tracking up to 1,000 airborne and surface contacts simultaneously, delivering real-time intelligence to the formation's networked weapon systems, controlled by Aegis Baseline 10 systems aboard escorting Arleigh Burke destroyers. The strike group's 96 Mark 41 vertical launch cells, prepared to execute precisely coordinated coordinated defensive salvos. Heading the defensive missile arsenal was the SM-6 interceptor, capable of Mach 3.5 velocities at ranges reaching 230 miles, forming the primary long-range engagement barrier. Covering intermediate distances, enhanced Sea Sparrow missiles provided quick medium-range coverage, while rolling airframe missiles offered agile close-range defense against maneuvering threats. For dangers penetrating outer defensive layers, Phalanx systems engaged incoming missiles or small craft using 20mm Gatling guns. Integrated command centers fused sensor data and distributed engagements automatically, ensuring no target could overwhelm defensive systems. Within moments, the Forward Strike Group shifted from deterrent positioning to active defense, demonstrating the carrier's dual function as both strike platform and protective shield of American naval power. Throughout the following air-to-air combat sequence, F-35C Lightning II stealth fighters took primary control, creating overlapping kill zones that encircled the carrier strike group with invisible threat barriers. Exploiting their minimal radar cross-sections and sophisticated sensor fusion, these advanced aircraft guided friendly missiles toward enemy fighters before hostile aviators realized they faced attack. Overhead, an E-2D Hawkeye airborne early warning aircraft maintained continuous battlefield surveillance, its powerful radar scanning vast areas to identify and monitor all approaching and departing aircraft. Once enemies were located, AEM-120D AMRAAM missiles launched from both F-35Cs and supporting fighters. These fire-and-forget guided weapons with approximately 90-mile reach pursued targets autonomously at extreme supersonic speeds. Coordination between Hawkeye mission control teams and F-35C network systems ensured each missile received optimal targeting data, minimizing engagement duration. Within minutes, multiple Chinese J-16 and J-11 fighters fell to this integrated approach, their formations shattered before launching effective responses. The result provided conclusive evidence of American carrier aviation's ability to dominate contested airspace and protect valuable assets through stealth, sensor fusion, and precision beyond visual range combat. EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft equipped with AGM-88 HARM missiles conducted synchronized strikes against PLA naval radar defenses. Growler jamming systems generated tailored electronic interference, disrupting Chinese radar frequencies across C, X, and S bands, while HARM weapons homed on active emitters to physically eliminate critical sensor installations. Crews executed silent superiority techniques using stealthy radio frequency manipulation to disable hostile systems before detecting friendly forces. With engagement ranges exceeding 100 nautical miles, these tactics neutralized Type 054A frigate surveillance radars well beyond visual range. Type 054A vessels relying on Type 3 SATIG three-dimensional air search systems and Type 730 close-in weapon system networks struggled maintaining target tracking amid constant jamming and missile bombardment. Growler platforms employed advanced digital radio frequency memory decoys, creating false contacts, generating confusion within PLA command networks. Meanwhile, HARM's high-speed flight profile enabled precise hits against superstructure-mounted radars, destroying them within seconds of activation. The American Carrier Strike Group integrated Link 16 data links across carriers, destroyers, and growlers, enhancing targeting accuracy and accelerating engagement cycles. This networked architecture guaranteed instant battlefield awareness and rapid resource redistribution. By rapidly switching between soft-kill electronic interference and hard-kill missile strikes, America created an electromagnetic battle space neutralizing frigate-layered defenses. Ultimately, this combination of deception, destruction, and doctrine-based tactics exemplifies modern multi-domain warfare and proves American naval supremacy in contested little waters with overwhelming force. After the carrier strike group's layered defenses eliminated incoming threats, the USS Gerald R. Ford's Combat Direction Center quickly shifted from defensive stance to offensive preparation. Within its command compartment, specialists processed vast quantities of sensor intelligence and tactical data, developing comprehensive assessments of hostile locations and vulnerabilities. A senior strike planning cell continuously briefed recommended decisive Tomahawk missile bombardments. The commanding officer then issued launch clearance directing all weapons control teams receive firing instructions within 5 minutes. Concurrently, guided missile destroyers and attack submarines supporting the strike group began pre-launch sequences, loading vertical launch cells and torpedo rooms while conducting final targeting refinements. Link 16 communication synchronized across platforms, ensuring each Tomahawk would impact designated targets with surgical accuracy. Personnel stations displayed green readiness indicators, confirming total combat preparation on short notice. This rapid transition demonstrated the strike group's adaptability and the Navy's reliance on information-driven coordinated multi-domain operations. Following completion of retaliatory preparation, the Carrier Strike Group executed coordinated Tomahawk counterattacks, launching up to 100 Block 4 cruise missiles at maximum velocity, traveling approximately 550 Mach and carrying 1,000-pound warheads. Each weapon was programmed to strike hardened targets with surgical precision. Launch platforms aboard Arleigh Burke destroyers fired synchronized salvos, while Virginia-class attack submarines released supporting strikes from submerged positions, creating multi-axis assaults overwhelming hostile defenses. Above the battlefield, FA-18E Super Hornets from the carrier's air wing conducted precision strike missions, dropping long-range JDAM Joint Direct Attack munitions from 30,000 feet to eliminate additional targets while minimizing collateral damage during engagements. EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft maintained total radio frequency suppression, cutting hostile communication networks and preventing coordinated defensive responses. Within moments, refined targeting intelligence guided missile impact points against priority objectives, including hostile command facilities, fuel depot complexes, and air defense missile sites. The combined effect of subsonic cruise strikes, high-altitude precision bombing, and continuous jamming ensured critical command centers, radar facilities, and supply depots were eliminated quickly. This precision strike package, supported by the carrier group's defensive layers, demonstrated the American Navy's capability to transition seamlessly from force protection to decisive power projection across disputed waters. After concluding the offensive operation, 15 critical facilities, including multi-site radar complexes, underground ammunition storage depots, and heavily fortified bunkers were totally eliminated. More than 40 J-16 and J-11 fighter aircraft were destroyed either at bases or during aerial combat, effectively removing the opponent's primary air defense capabilities. Financial assessments estimate immediate losses exceeding $5.7 billion, representing not only destroyed hardware but also crippled maintenance and supply networks. The coordinated attacks dismantled the AT-AD umbrella once projecting from coastlines deep into the interior, forcing the main naval base to relocate command functions nearly 200 kilometers inland and relinquish control over strategic coastal waters. Beyond material destruction, this operational catastrophe undermined hostile leadership credibility, reduced personnel morale, and reinforced American power projection reputation. Ultimately, the engagement decisively shifted oceanic power dynamics, establishing naval superiority and deterring future aggression. The annihilation of China's vaunted AT-AD network crushed opponent morale, undermining both global standing and confidence within the PLA. The decisive display revealed the potency of multi-layered sensor-fused defenses and essential cooperation between air operations and electronic warfare. It also delivered clear deterrence. No entity can risk challenging an American carrier strike group without grave consequences. Intelligence gathered here will influence world powers, validating modern deterrence effectiveness and supporting continued investment in carrier strike forces. As hostilities intensify, no nation can truly afford underestimating American naval dominance.